Hello, Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. This is a 3v3 ladder game played on frozen fields. Now we're going to introduce the players here and bring up the production tab, which can get kind of crazy in 3v3s, but we'll close it if we need to. So, this is the Yellow Zerg Falcon Pal, otherwise known as Falcon Paladin. This is me. And on my team, I have the Orange Terran player, F Minor, as well as the Purple Zerg, Jennerstein, or Jennerstein, I suppose. I'm actually kind of embarrassed, I don't know. This Jennerstein is actually a buddy of mine from a sports message board that we both frequent. I do love football and basketball. Those are my two favorite sports. And I posted about my casting for Starcraft II on there, and he was interested because he likes to play video games too, and decided to follow me, and sometimes we play some games, some team games. So here we have Jennerstein. On the other side, the bad guys, we have the light blue / teal Protoss player Mo, his buddy, or at least teammate here, the blue Terran Clap, and then we have a Slanish, the red Terran player. So we're going to see how this game goes. Speed it up a little bit in the early going, as we always do. It looks like Jennerstein is actually going for a bit of a... Yeah, he's got his spawning pool up a little bit before I do, so he's going to be a little bit more aggressive. The other players are going to try to wall off this ramp. This is kind of a really weird map, just because in order to scout, like this is the entrance to our base. You have to go all the way around here, and then all the way up this ramp, and across here, and down here, and then all the way up this ramp, and then back, and here you go. There's the entrance to the other player's base. So it looks like you're not that far as the crow flies, but if you try to get like a 6 pull out with slow links, it takes forever for them to get there. And by the time they arrive, their effectiveness is greatly diminished. So I decided not to go for some early harassment. Instead, I am going to get some speedlings out, though, just for defense mostly, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to expand. And yes, Jennerstein has already taken his expansion, so well played by him. Our Terran buddy has 2 barracks up. He's going to actually be going for a mass Reaper play, which is going to be kind of fun to see here as well. Here comes the first Reaper. As we slow things down just a little bit, we're going to follow this guy, I think. Can we follow him if we don't have him selected? No, we can't. Anyway, here he comes, checks for an expansion there, sees there is not one at all. I'm actually sending some lings up anyway to try to do some harassment. Speed is almost done, which is nice. Here comes that Reaper, moving on in, gonna try to get some harassment in, try to kill himself some workers, and yes, there's really nothing defending these workers over here at all, and he's gonna go ahead and get a single SEV kill. Here comes the Blue Marine response, going to try to chase that Reaper away. It does manage to pull a lot of SCVs off the line, though. That's pretty good for him. 3 Reapers here, though, turning around, going to try to snipe down that probe. Do manage to get it. And here come my lings at the front, taking down some of these Marines. Yes, also going to try to delay this bunker. Going to kill the SCV who's working on it. Can they do it? The answer is maybe no. They barely managed to get it. That bunker will be delayed. The Reapers are going to town because the response was pulled over here, trying to kill what they can. They cannot stand up in a head-to-head fight against these Marines, but they can do a lot of damage with a lot of kiting. So I'm taking my expansion now, which is pretty good for me. I have 3 workers on gas. I'm getting 2 evolution chambers up, so we'll have to see what I'm up to. If you watch any of my previous team game videos, you'll probably know what my strategy is going to be. It is something I like to do a lot. And here we have the Reapers doing more and more harassment, going to try to kill some of these Marines. More Marines pop out, though, and 1 Reaper goes down, but the other one manages to escape just barely. Now Stalkers are out. Reapers do not do well against Stalkers at all. This might be the end of their harassment. We'll have to see. More Marines coming up to the front here. They're going to sit inside that bunker, try to defend this front door. There is a bit of a back door, though, if you notice. There are these rocks here. Each base has a backdoor rock section that the enemy can destroy and come through. Or you can actually destroy it yourself for a bit of a shortcut to get out of your base, depending on what you want to do. So, smart enough, Mo is actually kind of scouting this out, making sure nothing crazy is happening there. I should probably have an Overlord closer to these rocks just to see if that's happening to us. But man, the Reaper's coming on in, killing so many workers. How many workers does Red have now? Red is at 18 Harvesters, which is actually not bad, all things considered. Reapers coming right on in, killing so many Marines, losing a couple Reapers, though. Running past that bunker was maybe not the best choice, but I now have a 3rd base, and our Terran player is still on 1 base. He's just pretty much going Reaper, Reaper, Reaper. He has 4 barracks now. He's not interested in getting anything else but Reapers so far. Roach Warren coming up for Jennerstein. And we have some Marines and Marauders heading on out. An expansion taken by Mo at this point at the 7-minute mark. So the harassment's been doing pretty well. I mean, I feel like the Protoss player should have taken expansion sooner than this, but he was distracted by those Reapers and really messed up his timings. Blue hasn't taken an expansion whatsoever. And again, it's kind of hard to do so. You have 3 players, and you really have like maybe 3 places to expand. This one is actually really risky. It's kind of out here all by itself by that ramp. I took it anyway, hoping that this Reaper pressure would actually be enough to keep me safe for a while, and honestly, so far so good. So Reaper's chasing down all those workers. How many are left for Teal? Only 10 workers left for Teal. Not fantastic. Jennerstein has 40 Harvesters already, which is great. Remember what I said about Reapers not being great against Stalkers? If you have a lot of them, it doesn't matter. All those Stalkers die. The Reapers eventually escape. They're not interested in taking out those Marines and Marauders at this point. They're going to try to heal up with their combat drugs and then snap right back on in there. So this front isn't even fully walled off. Like, this is how much this Reaper harassment is affecting the opposing team. This is wide open. Like, a giant Zergling swell could pretty much just come in here and win the game at this point, but unfortunately, Jennerstein and I have other plans. As you notice, I am taking my gas at this base. I'm getting upgrades for the Carapace and the melee attacks. I have queens at all of my bases. I'm pretty much just getting workers up as much as I can here. Excuse me as I let out a huge sneeze. Woo! More and more Reaper harassment, though. Managing to snipe down the pylon that is powering this gateway and this cyber core. So, wow, excellent play there from those Reapers. They used to do extra damage against buildings. They don't anymore. So when you see Reapers take down a building, it can be kind of a big deal. Here they come in, massacring every single one of these probes. This Stargate could be trouble, though. A Void Ray... Nope, and Mo just leaves the game instead. He says, whatever, I don't have many Harvesters left at all. Let's take a look at it. He has 4 Harvesters and says, fine. This is not fun at all. This 3v3 is not what I've been wanting to do. The result did not come out as I wanted it to, as we see more Reapers heading on across the field. Look at the income tab, and 57 Harvesters for me, 45 for our purple Zerg buddy. Now taking a 3rd base of his own. And pretty much, what are we producing here out of these eggs? Zerglings. So a lot of Zerglings coming up. This Reaper harass has just been amazing. I mean, 0-0 Reapers just basically harassing everybody to the point that one of them quits. They're going to try to take down these rocks. Again, they don't do well against buildings or anything armored, which is what these rocks are. But the little Reapers that could said, we're going to try to knock down these rocks anyway. It will make an easier attack path for my Zerg buddies. So I'll spend my time doing that. Marines here defending. When a player leaves in a team situation, the remaining team member or members can actually take control of their units. So you'll notice these guys are harvesting, which basically Mo lost everything here and then left. So these harvesters were created by Slanish or Slanish and Clap. So here we have a lot of links coming up with +1/+1. They're going to try to get in these rocks here before too long, and yes, the rocks go down, the Reapers move right the heck on in. I am upgrading myself to a hive. I'm getting more and more upgrades, getting a macro hatchery as well, and an infestation pit. These Reapers come in and say, we're going to try to take you down, Marines. Marines have no upgrades either, though, so upgraded Marines do exponentially better against even upgraded Reapers, so you best want to get your upgrades, especially for those Marines. Just makes them much, much more effective if you're a new player to Terran. Here comes the Ling counterattack, though, coming right on in. Going to try to take down what is remaining for Mo, and no one really wants to defend it because Mo is gone. And unfortunately, these buildings will go down very, very quickly. Yes, there goes a pylon, there goes an assimilator. The Nexus Cyber Core Gateway will all go down. I don't know if this is even enough Marines to handle this many Zerglings. But no, Jennerstein is not interested in fighting them. He instead heads out after having done his job and taking out most of those workers. The Reapers trying to come up the front door, trying to take down this bunker, and yes, they managed to do it. Taking down that single Marine inside, coming around back, killing mules, killing SCVs, and then popping back out again. He's doing a good job with that. And what is in production for me? Yes, an Ultralisk Cavern. So just about done. I have a big bank of minerals and gas, and I am now producing upgrades. And 6 Ultralisks are going to pop out now, though. So we'll have to see what happens. Jennerstein's been using his gas, not on roaches, but actually instead on Mutalisks. The Mutaflot comes right on in, kills these remaining workers for Mo. Mo now has 0 workers whatsoever. Coordinated attacks on this Nexus. Skabloosh. Skabloosh. And then they run away because there are Marines coming, and Marines do really well against Mutalisks. Although 3 Marines against this many Mutas is not really a fair fight for the Marines. Although more are coming in. They don't have stim though, they don't have combat shield. Again, perhaps your first indication that these players are not the best. This is a fairly low level ladder game, but still. Pretty fun to watch. I like 3v3s just because it's not quite as crowded as 4v4s and not quite as cheesy as 2v2s. That's kind of my opinion of the matter. Here come my Ultralisks. These look a little bit funky. You've seen Ultralisks before just because they are, yes, Mo's not revealed his base. They are the Collector's Edition Heart of the Swarm Ultralisks. So I actually was able to attend the launch of Heart of the Swarm in California when that happened. I was able to see Husky and Day 9 cast some pro matches featuring Heart of the Swarm, and that was a lot of fun. And as part of that, I was given a collector's edition of the game, and with that came these amazing Ultralisks with their glowy tusks with the yellow. It just kind of looks actually like mustard. I don't know how cool it is. Anyway, mustard gas maybe. Here come the Ultras. They're going to do terrible, terrible damage to everything here. There are tanks, but man, tanks against Ultras that are upgraded. What do we got here? Yep. It just says 4 armor upgrade. Clap leads the game. There is +2 attack on these Ultralisks, more and more streaming in. These Marines are in huge trouble. Maybe they could kite things, but instead they decide to hold their ground. They're doing very little damage whatsoever to these Ultras because of all that armor that they have, and they all get cleaned up immediately. And I call the GG. Trying to be a little bit good-mannered. More and more Lings moving in, Ultras moving in for me, cleaning everything up. And yeah, I mean, there aren't any Widow Mines, there really aren't any air units, so this Ling Ultra composition is perfect, and that's it. Everybody leaves the game on the other team, and we are victorious. So, that was kind of a fun game to watch. I do enjoy that kind of thing. The 3v3s are one of my favorite things to do in StarCraft 2. Even if it is low level, it is still pretty fun. So, this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another StarCraft upload. I hope you liked what you saw today. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.